I think that's the gift and the curse of being a songwriter and a musician. Your growth or your decline is going to be broadcasted and highlighted. And people are going to follow and listen to it, and they're going to see where you at when they hear where you at. But just a year ago, I was doing interviews, and in my interviews, I was telling people like, I know I can rap, I can write. That's undeniable. But the goal I was chasing next was I wanted to be able to spike stories. I want to be able to storytell.
Blake actually really inspired me when it came to that because, and I don't even think I told him this, but I thought like when I was your age, and that was like almost 20 years ago, like I was so terrified of the judgment externally of what people would think of my work and my art. But I always found it comforting to write for other people and to record for other people, as long as I wasn't the focus and the center of attention.
Welcome to Cloud Record Music Podcast, Season 4, Episode 9. I'm your host, Maurine McFarlane, and I have an amazing show just for you. Don't go anywhere. Some entertainers are born to be spotlight. Blake Melvin and Joy Jackson are such entertainers. It gives me great pleasure to spotlight this dynamic duo. Latest release, The Calm Before the Storm. It is uplifting, energizing, and full of positive vibes, with love at the core soothing it all. This is a conversation you do not want to miss. You will be inspired. Don't go anywhere. Blake Melvin, a gifted songwriter, spoken word artist, and entertainer, is a graduate of Philadelphia High School of Performing Arts and major in theater of Bowie State University. Blake is a spoken word published poet, Philadelphia Raw artist, Moonstar Academy, emerging poem recipient, and a vibrant fresh face to the music industry. As one of the gems in the beautiful city of Philadelphia, Blake Melvin iced the great, the bad, and the misunderstood of the city that has helped him shape him into the person he is today. Joy Jackson, born in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania, has been a gospel vocalist her entire life, a servant of the true and living God, Jesus Christ. Joy carries the heart of a worshiper in every note she sings. Grounded firmly and rooted deeply in her faith, she has also challenged her passion for music into R&B and soul, creating songs that uplift, energize, and inspire. Through these releases, Joy continues to bridge faith and artistry, delivering music that is both spiritually heartfelt and sonically captivating, a testament to her devotion, creativity, and a commitment to touching hearts with every performance. The music you're listening to in the background is by Camilla Green, Jesus Christ is Lord instrumental, one of Cloud Records music. The links are below. Check out all of our music. Before we start, please subscribe to this channel, ring the bell, and leave a comment and let me know what you think about our conversation. Let's get it on. And now, the Cloud Records Music Spotlight. Blake Melvin and Joy Jackson, welcome to Cloud Record Music Podcast. How are you both?
Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, this is an exciting afternoon for me because I get to talk to both of you, and these two amazing, talented young people have a new release coming out in December with Cloud Records, and it's called The Calm Before the Storm. So we're so fascinated to know more about each of these individuals. And so, Blake, I'm going to start with you, asking you this question about your school. You graduated, of course, from Philadelphia School of Performing Arts, and you're a theater major, but today your focusing is on music. You're a writer, lyrics. So why you change your focus?
I changed the avenue of the focus because to me, I don't think the focus changed. Theater is just the study of people and then going out and then recapturing it into your own image and form. And that's the same thing I do with writing. That's the same thing I do with poetry. That's the same thing I do with music. Is I go out, I live, I experience the people, and then I give it back to them in a different medium and form. And I think music is an accessible way for people to access different ideas and emotions that I come across I want to share. And it was just a more emotive way for me to access my emotions and feelings and what I want to share, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. And, Joy is an exceptional performer. She performed just about every Sunday, maybe at different churches. But she's a young lady that also, emerge in different genres. So, Joy, you go from gospel singer to now singing R&B. So, is this a new transition for you?
I wouldn't say new, because in my theatrical training, we had to study every genre. So I just happened to excel in jazz and R&B, and I found my niche in there. But my upbringing, gospel has always been a part of who I am. But here's the thing, I really do believe at my core that all music is a gift from God. And the reality of it is, God doesn't have musical genres. It's the truth of the message that comes across, how you convey that. You could be Ray Charles and sit down and do gospel and jazz, and you could do blues, and you can combine them. And I'm sure in the future there'll be more musical genres, but I don't think he's limited to one. So if my message is truthful at the core, I don't think it matters what we classify it as.
Right. It seems to me what's important to you, both of you, is what's truth. What is true about the particular music, right?
Right.
Yes, make it authentic.
Well, that is powerful. So, Blakey, I should say Blake, I call him Blake, excuse me, Blake. Who is your musical influence when you were growing up or even today? I mean, you probably have a lot, but if you were going to choose one of the many, who would you choose?
When I was growing up, I had way more growing up. I was way more influenced by the art growing up. So I would say it would be like Charles Hamilton was somebody very close to me, like to me when it comes to musically wise, who I align with just for his message.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, like lately, I really get more inspired by the interactions and with people. So I kind of just what Joy said. To me, music doesn't have a genre. So I don't really listen to one genre of one person. I listen to all shapes and sounds to see what I can pin together when I'm writing my pen, especially. I just use my interactions with people, my experiences from day to day, and that's really what inspires me when it comes to music.
Mm. Oh, what about you, Joy?
I agree. This song, Calm Before This, that we're releasing in December, when I recorded it, I literally closed my eyes, and I know Blake remembers this. I tend to close my eyes when I sing, which if you've ever been to theatrical school, that is a huge no-no. But I told you I'm cool, so I'm going to just be honest. But I closed my eyes because I need to put myself in the moment. And I used a memory for a Calm Before the Storm of my wedding day. And everything that exposed the lyrics was my wedding day when I married my husband. It embodied everything that I felt in that moment. On the dance floor of my wedding, we actually had this crazy, insane dance battle, and it was just me and my husband. Like, and we have all of these crazy pictures from it. But like, I remember that moment. I embodied that moment, and I wanted every emotion that I felt in that wedding day to come out in that song. And once again, that's why I don't believe there's specific genres, because when you relay that message in the moment, if it's truthful in what it was and the feelings and the emotions that you experience, it doesn't matter what genre is coming across. It will hit who it needs to hit and reach who it needs to reach.
I was getting excited because when you were tuning in, how I like to call it, you probably ask more questions about the song later on, so I won't go too much, but that's the premise of the song. And that's why you was able to capture what was in my head and bring it to life, which was magical what you did with that song. But it is the premise of finding your partner in the middle of the war, in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of all these things going around, finding that one for you that you're able to like isolate yourselves into your own reality, your own world, where it's like a paradise of sorts.
Literally, because that's exactly what we did. It was like, it's your wedding day. The only two people who matter in the room is you and that person. So it was a perfect embodiment.
Yeah, that is so amazing because you mentioned the song, The Calm Before the Storm. And my question to you both, when the way you both sing so well in the song, and ladies and gentlemen, you're going to love it when you hear it, but you actually met the day that you recorded. So there must have been some instant energy or that happened for you to capture it, Jordan, and Blakey in the writing of it, and in order to so she could relate it in a way to be so personal because she delivered it incredibly. And your part that you did, I mean, I keep listening to it over and over last night. It's just really wonderful. And it is about relationship, so Blakey, where did that inspiration came to you when you were writing this song?
The
Because
inspiration came,
it's really
and
powerful.
first and foremost, I would also just want to give props to Austin, who composed the record, because he also did a lot of coaching too. He was the bridge to Joy tuning in to her moment, and me getting the words out the head was important. But the inspiration for my song is twofold. The spark of that song came from a moment I was at a show on a boat, and then me and my friend at the time, we had one of those instant connection moments. It didn't last, but that was the spark. And then when I wrote the song, I actually wrote it about somebody that it did last with. So it was that scene and that setting. That's what I mean when I say that just true life and experiences is my musical inspiration, not really other acts or artists, because it's the scene and setting that's put the whole foundation. Praise God. Of course, He gave me the blueprint for it, but I used that plot or scene structure to then fill in the storyline, and then I just took experience and actual love that I've had and was able to be a part of to actually finish the body of the song to get the purpose out of it.
And that's why it came across the way that it does, because it was based in truth, in true love, my experience. So it comes across with the experience in the moment that you write it out of.
I am so more impressed now, because the truth is, I never even thought of that as the reason as a writer, that it was coming from this place of connection with another person, of truth. Because some people are just talented in writing lyrics, and at first I was just thought, oh, you probably just wrote this at a moment, but just the fact that it come from such a meaningful place, probably why it's so powerful, and why it meant so much to you, Joy, and how you capture it in that moment. Yes, Austin is excellent of coaching individual, but at the end of the day, your skill as a singer and your skill as a writer and also a performer is what make it just, and Austin's ability to do what he does just make it exceptional.
Absolutely.
Exceptional.
I do believe, to me, a talented writer isn't someone who just, okay, I have to write a song for mom, so let me put words to a page. That was the act. That was the physical act of how the song got made. Mom was like, it's time for a song. But all those words, all those lyrics, those come from a source. Those that gets downloaded. Those come from the back of the mind, the front of the mind. Those are the truths, like the seem to be the word of the night. Those are real core memories that I think a talented writer is able to just access immediately. And I think that's what makes a talented writer accessing true memories, true core emotion.
I agree. And even as many things as I've written, I don't think that it just comes, it's not just words to a paper, because in theater, you are transitioning that form. And when you're performing a script, when you're writing a song, you are literally doing a transformation. You're taking the experiences in your mind, you're transferring them to a piece of paper, and then you're living them out through whatever form that is, whether that's on the stage, whether it's singing, whether it's playing through your music. You are living out those words and you're bringing them to whatever art form you're practicing. So it's, when you write, you have to have something to draw from. You have to have a cup, right? Because otherwise, what are you going to put together? What's the fourth product that's going to come through? If you don't have a full cup to transform that artwork into, it's not going to come alive. It won't be felt by the person in the audience that you're meant to reach.
And I think that separates a hit from a classic. I think a hit is, something that can get played a lot of times. People like it, but it's forgettable. But I think a classic is that type of artwork that we're talking about, that you're talking about, and that lasts forever.
That's a really good point. A hit is something catchy, something quick that you don't really have to dive a lot into. But
Gotcha.
the songs that stick out in your mind, even you, Maurine, when you think about the songs that are your favorite songs, do you think about an experience? Do you think about a memory that comes to your mind? Those are the ones that stick with you, not the catchy ones that you just hear that you dance to for a moment, or you hear when somebody drives by in the car. Those are not the ones that stick with you.
Right.
You know, Blake, I have to say, after, because you also wrote the song that Joy recently released. I mean, as a matter of fact, it came out last Friday, right? Lifted. Yes. So such an amazing, powerful song, great message as well that I think everyone can relate to, right? And now you have The Calm Before the Storm. And I've known and I've listened to many, many of the songs that you have put out by yourself or with other people with you. And these two, to me, are the best. They are best. So there's a level of maturity also in your storytelling, because I think writing a song is kind of telling a story. And I think the way these stories have been told, for me, it's hard for me to see you going back to even the old ways of your story. So it's almost like a transformation of a person or maturity, and their storytelling is being reflected in that growth. Do you understand what I'm saying, Joy? Because I know the last time when I spoke to you, we were talking about how we change as we get older. So our style change. So this is how I'm seeing Blake is writing. And I think the only reason why you could embrace it and bring it out to the fullness is because it's also connected to your growth and maturity. Am I right on this?
For sure. When I first started writing, me and Blake talked about this very briefly. Like when we first started writing, sometimes it's very easy to just, as a beginning writer, just kind of get a hook. Just something that people can catch on to. Just something that'll get somebody into it and knock in their head. But when it comes to maturity in writing and those hits that we talked about, the ones that stay with you, that comes from lived experience. That is what makes music beautiful, because as you grow and as you change and as you live out those experiences and hopefully gain a little wisdom from it, it doesn't just become a hook and event, it becomes an experience. And that's why I think this particular song works so well together, because it is catchy. You do want to dance, you get excited when you hear it, but when you actually hear the lyrics of the message, you can envision yourself with that person that's in mind. And that's what makes mature writing different. That experiences, because as he said, he had those experiences, and the one that stuck out to him when he first wrote the hook wasn't the one that sticks out to him when the song came alive. And I could let you speak to that, Blake, but that shows the maturity and evidence in writing right there.
Well, before you explain that, I like you picking that up. Just before we get, I want the audience, because we're talking so much about A Calm Before the Storm, and that song, by the way, is performed by Joy Jackson and Blake Melvin. I want to give the audience just a little taste of it. I want them to hear a minute of it, and then we'll get back and you can follow up to what Joy just mentioned to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a moment and you're going to hear this awesome song. It's called The Calm Before the Storm by Blake Melvin and Joy Jackson. And of course, you know what you have to do. Go down, download it. It's available in all music platforms. This is a song that will become a classic. Here we go.
What if we took two? It's like me, it's just me and you. Middle of the function, what if we took two? Like it's just me and you, right here, right now. Me and you, baby, them won't faze me. I've been waiting. Me and you, me and you, me and you, baby, jump me right here. Let them take
told you, right? Now, Blake, before we show the clip to the audience, you can answer what Joy was mentioning to you about your growth with the hook and all that and relate to the song.
I think this question is twofold for me. Absolutely, it's the easiest way to put it. I think that's the gift and the curse of being a songwriter and a musician. Your growth or your decline is going to be broadcasted and highlighted. And people are going to follow and listen to it, and they're going to see where you at when they hear where you at. But just a year ago, I was doing interviews, and in my interviews, I was telling people like, I know I can rap, I can write. That's undeniable. But the goal I was chasing next was I wanted to be able to spike stories. I want to be able to storytell. So I'm smiling now because literally everything that you're saying that you hear, and then the growth and development was the goal for last year. So that means we either arrive somewhere or we're getting somewhere. And even this is my 5th year as a writer rapper. So I call it postgraduate. I just graduated Rapper University. So it feels good to say that like I'm on time or I'm at where I wanted to be at when it comes to my penmanship, even though it's more room to grow. That's part one. Part two is also just, I think the motivation has changed from writing. Like when me and Jory talked about when we first started writing, it was the reason to get out of bed for one, but then also it was fun. It was like a playground. Like, oh, look what I can do with these words. Look, I can do with this word. So to the point where I call it being a rapidy rapper or just like a white noise artist when you can say a bunch of something or you can hit a bunch of notes, but there's no meaning behind it. There's no purpose. So once I realized that, okay, I can do the technical form of this craft very well. Now let me try to put my heart behind it. And I think that's in this past year, even with all the new releases that I have coming out and the album that I came out, it's vastly different. It's every time I write something, I'm like, oh man, this is the best thing I wrote now. And each time that's happening, I think that we have entered a new stage, a new standard, and a new expectation to reach. So,
well, tell you from experience, the fun part becomes when you take something that you've written a long time ago and you completely revamp it and add your experience and add your growth to it, and it literally becomes a whole new sound.
It's a new stage.
It's a new stage in your life. You add to it. That's the beauty of music. It's always changing with who we are. That's just what me and Maureen talked about in our last. That's what makes it wonderful, because it can adapt. It can grow with whomever. Anybody can relate to it if that's where they are at that moment.
So here's the thing, which is also very appealing to me with both of you. And I'm not talking to Joy now. So I'm learning tonight that you actually went to school for performing art, Joy? I didn't know that.
Oh, for sure. I majored in theater Broadway. The first theatrical Broadway performance that I did professionally was actually, believe it or not, at a summer program, Blake, at Kappa. That's also where I realized I wasn't that great of an actor as compared to that I thought.
Yeah.
But my stage presence, my theatrical performance, I remember we did Horton Hears a Who. And I showed it to my daughter, who's now 14. And she like passed out. She couldn't believe it was even me. So it was literally on the stage at Kappa. I was like, I think I was in 8th grade.
Oh,
that's a full circle, small world. Look at that.
I know. So now I understand why, because, in Austin said, I have someone, and then I heard you guys were scheduled, and then I heard him like, but they just met. Did they rehearse this over and over and over and over again? And I'm heard, no. They connect and they just do what they do. This is what you call professionals and talented people, both of you. Congratulations, because it is just just a wonderful, wonderful song. Wonderful song. Blake, as well as Joy, because this will be Joy's second single in a year. Right? Because she just released one and she has another one coming out. There's a Calm Before the Storm will be released in December. So, it's 2. And she has been at performing all her life. But the time was right in, and God connect you two, and it's your song which you use to pivot her out there into the public like this.
That's very true. I have to be honest, if it wasn't for this opportunity also to bring it together, I would probably still have a lot of works that I never put forth that I just was too scared or too nervous or whatever to do. But Blake actually really inspired me when it came to that because, and I don't even think I told him this, but I thought like when I was your age, and that was like almost 20 years ago, like I was so terrified of the judgment externally of what people would think of my work and my art. But I always found it comforting to write for other people and to record for other people as long as I wasn't the focus and the center of attention. You know, like I knew that what I wrote would be able to transfer to different people and they would be able to feel, but I never wanted it to come through me. And you gave me such encouragement, like when I met you, like of just being able to put yourself out there in your feelings and your emotions, whether it was an up moment or a decline moment. And I thought that was so mature and so just encouraging to me. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
I really appreciate you sharing that with me because just personally, a part of my own journey with God and a part of my purpose, I always believe that I'm a bridge for people. I believe that I'm supposed to inspire people for whatever it is, and it's not like it's even intentional. It's a connection. So what you just did was just add more confirmation and the alignment of my walk, and I appreciate that.
That's
Wow.
awesome. See, that's what happens when you stay in touch with the Father.
Absolutely. And would I be interested if the Lord used these two songs, Lifted, which has been released on last Friday. And if you, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get that too. It's available in all music platforms. It's Lifted, Joy Jackson, just outstanding. And of course, The Calm Before the Storm. So you have two songs that you're committed to put it on your playlist. But would be interested if the Lord used these two songs to finally put you guys on the map with your music career. You know, because you've been at it for years, and Blake, you've been at it years, and there's always a moment, there's always a season, and there's always a connection where God opened the door at the right time, and you could be struggling, and in this business, there's a lot of struggle, there's a lot of setbacks, there's a lot of delays, right? You can speak to that, right, Blakey? And you too, Joy, even though you've not done anything.
A lot of bad contracts.
Absolutely.
That's how this came about.
And it's always intended for one to mature you, but also for you to see what the industries look like. And I think not only was this writing so well done, and the performance, the singing, the bringing out of it by Joy is so incredible. And even your piece and the rapping, it all come together so well that maybe this is the moment where both of your music career, after all these years, is ready to take on. And that would be just amazing. Which means
everything is possible. Everything is possible. I'm a firm believer that we pray and then we walk into the reality that we choose to be in, and I feel like every day, every moment, everything matters, and every decision that we make puts us on an A or a B track. I think us coming together, even we had to reschedule and get through that fire, get through that storm, that we did that, and that put us on the A track. Us being here right now, confirming what's about to happen, is keeping us on that A track. And I think anything's possible. I don't want to speak for God, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It's wonderful. And here's the thing, because I just believe it is, but both of you succeed also mean that Cloud Records finally also succeed. Because we put out great music, and the music industry is a challenging one. But just like a personal, so is a company of its moment when it just rises. And this could be the song that allows all of us to rise, It
only take one, and Joy coming with two. So what it do?
That would be so. You know what that means, then, Blakey? That means you're pressured to write something else wonderful for her, because she knows how to deliver your songs. I mean,
it's not pressure at all. It feels meant to be sometimes. It's not pressure.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. So, Joy, what next in store for you? Because I know you have a new, because you also write lyrics as well, and you have something you've been working on for years. So share with us what your next project is.
Oh, so I am coming out with the gospel album. It's going to be coming out next year. I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy. I can't wait to see what Jesus is going to do and who he's going to use and who he's going to put in my path. And, I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I know in the truth and who I trust. So I'm not going to set a box for myself. I'm gonna listen to what the Holy Spirit says do, and I'm gonna move that way. And I do believe that this was orchestrated. So I believe it was orchestrated. I think it was divine. And if this is how he's using me to reach people, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Blakey, what is your plan? What is your next project?
Well, I just dropped my album. It's only on Even. I went direct to consumer, so you got to pay for the album, but it's on Even. It's The Book of Truth by Blake Melvin. It's exceptional. And then my next project, I got music I'm dropping for the masses. That's called Songs for Women. There's some amazing songs in that though, but that's for the winter time, like February season. Those are things I'm working on now. And then my next big project album again, that's Eternal Revelations. And I'm excited for that, but that's not coming out until the end of next year.
Well, if all of your future and your present writing and storytelling is as powerful as these two, you're going to develop an amazing catalog, man. I mean, just make sure you're connecting with the right people to help you put this out and not people are going to scam you. It's amazing because I have this record label and this is the first song that Blake is going to release on it. So I'm also very selective in what I choose to put on my label. Right, Blake?
As you should be. As you should be.
So,
I can't wait for Heart of a Worshiper because I want to see what you think of it, and see how you want to move forward. Like, you got two amazing opportunities, and I'm so excited to see what's going to happen in the future. I really truly am. I really am. And I know how selective you are.
Yes. So me too. Yeah, because he knows in the past was just like, oh no, not this for this label. Yeah, but this too it was just perfect. And I just
now look too in the past as well. We never sat down and actually wrote something for your label. I think it's always we have to have the intentions of the doors that we walk into for things to actually produce fruit, at least good ones. And I think this time when you was like, hey, I need 2 songs for the label. But then I was like, okay, well, here's the mindset then. Because as Joy said earlier, music doesn't have no law, doesn't have no genre, for real, in my opinion. So I'm going to wake up and I'm going to write whatever touches my soul. And I don't care if it's rock and roll or if it's a gospel song. But then when you have an actual blueprint and a purpose and a goal to hit that's just small, a minor objective for the super objective, and put focus into that, I think this is what happens. I think each and every time this is what will happen.
Well done to both of you. I'm quite impressed. I'm telling you, viewers, you're going to absolutely love this song, The Calm Before the Storm. Please go and download it right now. Share it with your friends. Spread it. Let's help these guys get up there, right? I mean, it's just so worth it. It's just beautifully done. And of course, we appreciate Austin for making the connection and for producing it. Yes, he's awesome. And Blakey, you're right, and excellent. Joy, I don't know what else to say about you, but I have a lot of music as well. I'm sure I'm going to tap you in for some future work because you're that good.
Wait, I was like, she's going to call me and try to get me to start writing stuff.
Yes, I will end it with this last question and are you, because when you put something out new, it's going to take a lot of time. Are you prepared to do the interviews and because just get you on different radio shows? Some of them you just have to call in. Sometimes you may have to do a Zoom or something, but are you prepared to do all those to get the music out? Because that's what's going to take to get it around.
You want to know my past 4 days? My past 4 days was video shoot yesterday for Leslie Keys, 3 hour studio session. It was going to be, we was going to have a photo shoot Sunday with Daisy. So video shoot was Saturday. Friday was the show. Video shoot and then a studio session Saturday. We were supposed to have a photo shoot Sunday, and then we have this interview today. And that's just life because I don't really go out. I don't really hang out. I go to work And then I do this. This is what I like to
You
do.
focus on your art.
This is my hanging
Okay,
out.
so you're
You
prepared
know.
to do the work. Okay, okay.
I've been doing the work. It's just I'm prepared for the world to hear it and see it. I'm prepared to be perceived. I got a lot of stuff that I just kept, and I've been doing everything just in public, local, to build my name up so I can be able to sell. So I can sell myself without my brand. I have that now. Now I'm ready for the world to perceive this magic we've been making. That's why I'm going back to all streaming platforms.
Oh, I think the universe have heard you because I think it's ready to receive you guys.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I know Joy's ready because she already relayed that to me. So we're going to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, the calm before the storm, Blake Melvin and Joy Jackson, go and get it. And ladies, Joy, Blake, it's such a pleasure to have you on Cloud Record Music Podcast. It was
Thank
really
you.
wonderful. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for joining us tonight. And we will talk soon. And for those that are watching, you know what to do. Go and download the music. It's available on all music platforms. Also subscribe to this channel and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about our conversation. And by the way, the links are below. I think I mentioned this before. No, I didn't mention it in this session, but Joy doesn't really have any social media yet. But I told her she'll be getting one soon. However, Blake is on Instagram. And where else they can find you, Blake?
So right now, just go to the Instagram. I like to call it the Cliff Notes. Like Joy, I'm getting back on social media because I disappeared to live real life. So TikTok's about to come out. You can find me on YouTube. I got my YouTube channel activated, and that's Really Blake Show as well. Everything right now is going to be Really Blake Show.
So there you go. Follow them, like them, and you can find Joy anywhere Cloud Record is. And listen, subscribe, follow, but more importantly, get the music. Good night, everyone.
Yes. Yes, I see you.